Friends, last week the Parliamentary Committee began a crucial meeting on Uniform Civil Code implementation. It emphasized the importance of inclusive legislation for the UCC initiative. Of course, it will need cross-party support if it were to become an act. That it will stir both political controversy and public engagement is a reality. This Saturday, let's understand a little more of the debate everyone is talking about. What is Uniform Civil Code or UCC? Should anyone be worried about its implementation in India? Should Hindus, Muslims, or the Christians, or anyone else for that matter, be worried about it? Politics apart, one cannot deny that it's an important issue for the ruling party, though one may ask why. On the other hand, one may ask why at all it must be as contentious as one makes it out to be. UCC refers to a common set of laws governing personal matters such as marriage, divorce, adoption, inheritance, and succession. Are these not important to every human being, irrespective of the religion he or she follows? For example, why would any woman accept a deprivation of her inheritance or succession rights otherwise available to other men and women living on the same land? Should a woman accept a marriage or divorce differently only because the religion requires them to do so? Should men of different religions be judged by a different set of morals only because they practice different faiths? Are customs and religious practices being confused with the rights allowed to the citizens of the country under the Constitution? Let's understand UCC a little more objectively. 3 provisions and 3 cases stand out while we discuss Uniform Civil Code. First, let's look at the provisions. Article 14 of the Constitution of India states, "The state shall not deny to any person equality before law or equal protection of the laws within the territory of the country." Now, Article 44 of the Constitution says, "The state shall endeavor to secure a uniform civil code for the citizens throughout the territory of India." That this provision became a part of the Constitution must have been probably due to the gross discrimination seen against vulnerable groups and probably to harmonize diverse cultural groups across our country. Now, Article 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR, states, "All are equal before law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law." That is about the provisions that I talked about. Now let's look at the cases. 2 are done and 1 is unfolding. Firstly, any subjugation is bad. If it is men subjugating women and children to do their bidding, then it is doubly bad. Triple talaq, that allowed a husband to divorce his wife by repeating the word talaq thrice, is a case in point. That the Supreme Court declared the practice unconstitutional in 2017 proved a great relief to Muslim women. However, this will be a true enabler only when the inheritance laws too are amended. Secondly, the Shah Banu case, a controversial maintenance lawsuit in which the Supreme Court favored maintenance to the aggrieved divorced Muslim woman. Extremely good. However, that decision should have been celebrated. But subsequently, a law was enacted limiting the right to maintenance for a period of 90 days or either after the divorce. This effectively shifted the onus of maintaining a divorced Muslim woman to her relatives or the Waqf board. Now, why should women suffer for the greed of their men? Polygamy is another ill in the society, and it's equally bad. In a larger context, approaching a court of justice by women, children, and all oppressed must be eased, must be made easier. Thirdly, speaking about women empowerment and equal rights, one also must be alive to the changing environment. Whereas a handscarf covers the head and hair and is called hijab, a burqa or a niqab covers the face as well. The hijab stands for modesty in Islam. However, it also segregates and separates the Muslim woman from the others. Whereas it's compulsory in Afghanistan, in Saudi Arabia and Iran, it is banned in France and Belgium. At least 16 countries that include China, Morocco, Sri Lanka, Denmark have all banned burqa. Having looked at the articles of the Constitution and the cases in print, are we not, as citizens of this country that gained independence almost 75 years ago, mature enough to debate and accept UCC as a part of our social existence? Even as the debate may go on, what exactly are the Hindu laws, the Muslim laws, and the Christianity laws in the main? And how does one perceive persecution and inequality among various human beings within these religions? Friends, in all fairness, almost all personal laws apply to inheritance, to succession, marriage, divorce, adoption, co-partnering, guardianship, obligations of the sons to pay their father's debts, the partition of family property, maintenance, charitable donations, gifts, and preemption. However, the differences arise in their detailing, in their interpretation. The Hindu Code Bill, a legacy of the British, was adopted in 1956 as the Hindu Succession Act to codify the law that relates to intestate and unveiled succession among Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, and Sikhs. The act essentially gave women greater property rights and ownership in their father's estate. An amendment to this act in the year 2005 saw that the same share is allotted to a daughter as it's allotted to a son. This is as it should be. For are not all men and women equal, at least in the context of being the children of the same parents? Whereas the Hindu personal laws are based on religious texts like the Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and various other Hindu scriptures rooted in Dharma, the Muslim personal laws are based on the Sharia Application Act 1937. The Christian personal laws are either based on the Mosaic Law and the Ten Commandments of the Old Testament and on the canon law in the Catholic, Anglican, and Orthodox churches. However, they all refer to the same practices that define living in a society. Uniform Civil Code is expected to simplify the laws that are currently interpreted through various religious texts. Why should anyone object if the current complex laws rooted in patriarchy are sought to be implemented equally in favor of men, women, children, and the oppressed. Are we not living in the 21st century when we have changed and adopted several practices that seemingly are in conflict with our own religious practices? If we could do that, why can't we do this? Be all that as it may, we must encourage healthy debate on UCC, both among the intelligent and the practitioners, as to what the provisions must be, so that they are accepted by all. Is this cause not noble enough? Admittedly, the Hindus may lose some benefits that accrue due to a Hindu undivided family if UCC were to be implemented. There are, however, any number of positives that outweigh the negatives. Divorce, adoption of children of any religion would all be wonderful reforms. Above all else, why should any practice be above the Indian Constitution? If a UCC can bring restitution and repentance within society, why oppose it? Having said that, is UCC, Uniform Civil Code, if tribals and the Northeast are to be kept out of it? Think again. Friends, that is my take on UCC, which is the outcome of some reading and research that I did. I hope I have brought forth some important questions this Saturday for you to ponder on. With that, I will sign off for now until we meet the next Saturday, same time. Until then, namaskar, dhanyavad, and thank you.